Today, I want to talk to you about what it means to get rid of all of your stuff to create a life of full-time travel and living as an expat in Portugal, which is where my husband and I are heading in just a few short months. So stay tuned. The idea that I have accumulated a lifetime of stuff. This is really a first world problem, people. And the idea that somehow I think that my son is going to give a crap about the stuff that I have accumulated over my lifetime is not logical. They're my memories, right? They're my husband's memories. They aren't really my son's memories for the most part. The reason why I say that this is a first world problem is because I was literally in the country of Haiti 3 years ago, which is, I might add, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. I was there conducting business training seminars, and I was sitting at a table in a hotel with both Haitian business people and American business people. One of the guys who was on this team, who happened to be American, was talking about getting rid of a motorcycle that had been clogging up his garage in Pennsylvania and how much better he felt about himself with this idea of purging that item. Well, I looked over at the Haitian national colleagues and they were looking at each other like, what is this guy talking about? And I realized in the course of that conversation that this is truly a first world problem, that people who come from less don't have the opportunity to collect more stuff, way more stuff than we need, way more stuff than that is good for us. That was a snapshot in my mind that made me think, this is ridiculous. This idea that over my lifetime, I have accumulated stuff, I've moved houses, bigger houses, nicer houses, built a business and then a second business, then a third business. I'm accumulating stuff on both a personal and professional level. And then to wake up one day and say, do I really need all this stuff? How is this stuff bringing me joy? And that is when I found out about Swedish Death Cleaning. I'll make it easy. Swedish Death Cleaning is a practice in which older Swedish people will take an item, hold it in their hand, and say, number one, will I use this in the next 6 months? Or does this thing bring me joy? If the answer to both of those questions is no, you either consign it, donate it, get rid of it, give it to your children, whatever you got to do, purge it. I went through this process 3 years ago when my husband and I decided to sell our family farm and 23-acre hospitality complex to prepare for a life of travel. And we downsized into my cute little end townhouse not far away from there. What an amazing experience it was to get rid of all of this stuff that we had accumulated and find new homes for it. It's harder now, in a way, because I thought that I purged myself of a lot of stuff. I still have a townhouse full of stuff, a storage in the basement, and just stuff that I really won't need or won't have use or purpose for when I move to Europe. Now, let me tell you, this was not the original plan. Originally, when I went to Italy to get my dual citizenship for 6 months, my husband and I decided that our townhouse, we were going to throw sheets over all the furniture. And then when we come back 3 or 4 times a year to visit family and friends, that we would just open up our house and we would stay there for as long as we needed or wanted to. No sooner than I returned from Sicily, plunk down my suitcases in my living room here, pour myself a glass of wine, my husband says to me, I think we should rent the townhouse. I said, what? Rent the townhouse? We're leaving in 3 months. What do you mean rent the townhouse? You want me to leave it as it is? He said, no, get rid of everything we don't use, get a storage unit, have a key, and then rent the townhouse. I'm like, well, lucky for you that you are working and Kiefer, our son, is in his senior year of high school. Guess who gets to do all of that work? This guy. Today I'm going to be taking you on my process of Swedish death cleaning. What it looks like, where do I send my stuff? Sometimes I make a little money. Sometimes it's just a wash and I give it to Goodwill. And then there's a bunch of things that are just hard to know what to do with because they might bring me joy later, or I might use them in a year. And there's just some things that are a little bit more nebulous, but this is not a hill to die on. If it's something that I really don't think my son will want to inherit later in life, or I don't think that I'm going to use it, I gotta get rid of it. I'm gonna take you on a little fun tour of all of my piles of stuff and some of the things that I just can't get rid of yet. Just can't do it. Is it weakness? Maybe. I have to be honest with myself, and we're gonna get a storage unit and we're gonna store it for ever long it takes. So I'm a pretty nostalgic girl, and my husband is a genealogist. He even wrote a book about the genealogy of his family and his family farm. But you can see from our living room that we're not really the type of people who get into IKEA. Like, a lot of our stuff is like family heirlooms, history. Even after we left our family farm, you can see we ripped out some of the logs, the axe-hewn logs from the 1700s, and took some of the slate that was replacement slate from the 1700s. We put it here on the fireplace area along with a very old gun, a cider jar, and a harness. So this is kind of part of the problem we have is we don't really have stuff that's like throwaway stuff. Like, take, for example, this is the famous family book desk, B-U-C-H, and you can see all the stuff that we've been accumulating. Old German Bibles, books from the 1700s, old china. From my side, I don't have quite as much. This is a tile from an ancient church. This is a tile from the family farm in Sicily. I have this beautiful ceramic rose that was my grandmother's. What do you do with all of this stuff? How do you make sense of like stuff that is family heirloomy stuff, but you can't really take it with you when you're gonna have a life of travel? So this is my pride and joy. My grandmother bought me this piano, which I then, a couple of years ago, made it into a coffee and wine bar. So I ripped off the top and had glass put on. And, you know, like this is something that brings me joy. So this is gonna stay. And then I have a bunch of stuff that's going on Facebook Marketplace. Stuff that was great when I lived here, but not so great now that I won't live here. I mean, weird stuff. Stuff I never even think about that I have. Office supplies, tennis stuff, Christmas stuff. I have all kinds of blankets and awards. What about awards? What am I supposed to do with awards? I mean, it's great. Cover a magazine. We won the Bicentennial Farm Award. I was in the newspaper a bunch of times. All of it's great stuff, but it doesn't really do me a lot of good if I'm moving overseas. And then, of course, all of the storage bins. Scott's a record collector. Not exactly bringing those to Portugal with us. Kiefer's albums, Kiefer's Portugal stuff, Kiefer's memory stuff, family history. There's, you know, stuff that we think that Kiefer might like in the future to have. But at the end of the day, it's going to be his to do what he wants with. You know what's really weird? So I lived in Sicily for 6 months, and I went there with one backpack, one carry-on, and a personal item, and that was it. And over the time that I was there, as the seasons changed, it went from fall into winter, I needed a coat, I needed long pants and sweaters and stuff. And that kind of evolved in my wardrobe. But I'm going to be leaving in the month of July for Portugal. And so there's a part of me that's looking at my stuff and going, how much do I really want to bring? So we have been traveling a lot over the last few years, but interestingly, I have a lot of carry-ons, small bags that go above the seat in front of me in the airport. I only have this one big bag that really can hold 50 pounds. Everything else is small stuff. I have backpacks. I have like rolling computer bags. So my quest is to go and find several more of the big bags that go underneath the airplane that can have most of our stuff. So I've always kind of been very proud to be a Goodwill girl, or a girl that likes to go to thrift shops and get things really cheap. But as I'm getting older and the space that I have for my stuff, because of the lifestyle I want to lead, doesn't really allow me to have 50 sort of cute things. So I find myself wanting to purchase better brands, better things that are going to last longer. Take, for example, my Armani. I'll show it to you. It's just easier. So as I was saying in the basement, I really am starting to notice that the things that I buy that are a little bit better quality or more expensive, they do tend to last me longer. And that is an extremely important thing when it comes to the lifestyle I'm about to lead, which is a bit more nomadic in nature, and I will have a very limited amount of space for the stuff that I will use every day. So take, for example, this is my Armani linen black blazer. I got this bad boy at the thrift shop for $9, and I went and got it professionally dry cleaned, and this is gonna go to Portugal with me. Now, why this matters to me is because I want really good quality stuff that is going to last. I have a whole closet full of clothes of cute things, but not all of it is very good quality. This experience of the Swedish Death Cleaning, it makes me kind of think about the things that not only I feel good when I wear, but also the things that are going to last into the future. It's not really a part of my own American lexicon. We tend to be very proud of buying things at thrift shops, at least in my circles, not really thinking about, is this going to last me more than one season? So these are kind of some of the things that I think about. So I've been downsizing my clothes for quite some time. I realized I had 25 Coach handbags and about 25 pairs of shoes. What am I going to do with all this? How many perfumes can I really take with me to have a life of travel in Europe? I mean, really. And why do I have so many? You can only wear one perfume at a time. Ugh. And then I have our T-minus 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, and the first month in Portugal on the wall, making sure that I'm not forgetting a thing. And then, of course, I have all my Facebook Marketplace things. Hey, Pep. Aspetta, por favore. So I have all my Facebook Marketplace stuff. Obviously, I don't think I need my American welcome flag. First of all, it's kind of country for me at this point. And second of all, I can't exactly fit that in a 50-pound suitcase for the plane. I have a divider here, and then behind it, a lady's coming to pick up this bag, and she's going to buy a tea set. I just love it here. It's been such a great place to live. It's an end unit. It's really quiet here. A lot of it's wooded. And it's just been a peaceful place as a transition home for us to really downsizing all of our stuff in round 1. And now here we are in the final round. I'm just amazed how much there still is. So I am at my favorite place, Shoppe 816 Consignment. They take all of my goodies, and they've been wonderful to work with. This is lovely Vanessa.
Hello.
Vanessa's the queen of 816. And she has this cute little store here. And here she is going through yet another of my boxes. Are you finding anything exciting? Yeah.
Some fun things in here.
Oh, yes. I have plenty of Coach sundry. Let's see if we can find anything that I dropped off last week, because I am in here weekly. Oh, speak of the devil. Yet another Coach wallet, courtesy of myself. Oh, my God. Oh, ha! And then these were mine. They were in my laundry room to inspire me to travel more. To travel is to live. And just go. I'm going to Portugal. It's true. More.
Yay.
Yay for more.
Yay for you.
I know. So this is my finest of all the finest consignment treasures. I have my bright pink golf club set. And you will notice it has this extremely nifty, it's on wheels, it's got this cute little umbrella. I have all of the things. So if you're in the market for a hot pink golf, who isn't, Vanessa? Who is not in the market for a hot pink golf club set?
Everyone needs one of those.
Everyone needs it, people. Everyone needs it. And because I am moving to Portugal, here it is, waiting for the next customer. One of the things that Swedish Death Cleaning has taught me is just how temporal life is. This idea that somehow I have all of these things in my possession and I'm looking at them and saying, they're great. It's great to have all of this stuff, but is there a bigger meaning to it? And for some things I have, the answer is absolutely yes. For other things, not that much. At the time, maybe that award or certificate or article sounded really, really great and made me feel really great about myself. But at the end of the day, a year or two goes by and you kind of forget about it and your life goes on. I think that that's a good lesson to remind myself that, every day is important, but that striving isn't something that I always have to be doing. These are the top 5 recommendations that I have for you if you're considering starting Swedish Death Cleaning. If you are listening to this episode and saying, I wouldn't even know where to begin to go through my stuff and start getting rid of stuff, and how would I know what I want to get rid of? My advice to you is write down your why. When I first started doing this 3 years ago, I really had to analyze it and go, okay, what do I really, really care about? I realized in that question that I really cherish my family antiques. It is our hope that somebody, maybe they're not even born yet, will get that genealogy bug, will get that history bug and say, I'm so glad that somebody took the care to save that stuff for the next generation. And so I would recommend write down what is really important to you and start there. The second thing I would recommend that you do is look at the most unemotional items you have in your storage unit or basements. Perhaps it's tax records that are many years old that are already digitized or no longer needed. Or perhaps it's old books that you will never read again or that your family wouldn't want. Start with things that you're not truly attached to and make your life easy by not biting off more than you can chew. My third recommendation is to label everything clearly once you've gone through it and snap the lid on those Tupperware containers. For me, I've color-coded all of my boxes. For example, the items that are labeled in yellow are memories. The things that are labeled in green are genealogy or history documents. Number 4, if you are able to do so, begin to digitize the things that you care about and the things that you come across that you will want for future generations. I graduated from high school in 1992, and I was given a VHS tape of my senior year of high school, kind of all the highlights. On paper, it makes total sense to save that thing, right? I decided to get it digitized because I noticed that the tape itself was starting to look like maybe it wasn't going to stand the test of time. And I'm so glad I did, because now that it's digitized, I can send it to friends or family. And number 5, take your time. This is a very, very long process. It has taken me 3 years to get this done, starting with the first day that I went up in the attic, looked around, saw just piles of boxes, disorganization, business stuff. Take your time, do a little at a time, and congratulate yourself when you do get that box done and you click the lid on those Tupperware boxes. Congratulate yourself. I do have a bonus thing for you. Buy high quality bins. Don't get crap, don't buy the cheapest thing. Get super sturdy plastic bins that have a click-on lid. It's really important to remember that because things are going to get stacked over time. And you want to make sure that the stacking, if they're 4 high, that you don't have something flimsy on the bottom. I did buy some cheap plastic bins early on and I thought, it's good enough. And guess what? Here I am a couple years later, they're bending, they're buckling. Don't buy canvas totes that are cute. Don't put them in cardboard boxes. Put them in a real plastic tote with a clickable lid that is sturdy. You don't want to have things destroyed because you put them in a cheap container. I think I might throw myself a party once I'm done with my Swedish death cleaning. I'm getting so close, you guys. This is what I'm doing as a part of my preparing for my move with my husband, my son, and I over to Portugal. If you'd like to learn a little bit about Portugal and why we've chosen Portugal as a destination, you can click here. I leave you with this final thought. We are so blessed to live in a country where we can accumulate stuff. I feel like this experience has really taught me to be thoughtful. It's really made me be more mindful about the experiences I had long ago, how my perspective has changed about those experiences, about those relationships. It's healing to go through your stuff. If you're concerned in any way about starting this process because of the pain that might come to the surface in this concept of having to acknowledge some hurt or pain in your past, I just want to encourage you and say, let it be cathartic for you. Let it be something that heals you. This is a very personal journey of cleaning out your stuff in this way. Count yourself lucky and blessed for the difficult times in your life, for the wonderful, exciting times in your life, and all that you might find in those boxes. You might find that you are discovering something new about yourself and where you're at this place in your life because of this exercise.